Do you dream like I do?
Okay, so this is officially ScottCast, the podcast, number 11. And I don't know where to start, Greg. Greg Roessler here with me today. And,
well, let me start by saying thanks for having me.
Well, yeah.
On the ScottCast.
Yeah, well, you know.
I look forward to going viral.
You had to jump to the front of the line. There were a lot of famous people vying to get in here, and we had to kind of push them aside for you. So thank you for that. But, you know, I just want to jump right into this because it's an interesting topic, and also a necessary topic is Medicare, Social Security. Medicare is timely right now, as you've told me. I've heard this number several times over the last few weeks. You're going to see 400 people in the next month?
In Q4.
In
Q4, I'll have 400 meetings. Not all face-to-face, but I'll have 400 discussions, many face-to-face, with clients, prospects.
Yeah.
Friends of prospects, friends of clients.
And why? Why so many right now?
Annual election period. So every year, between October 15th and December 7th, Medicare allows people that are on Medicare. So that's the first part, is you got to be on Medicare, Part A, Part B, and you have a secondary plan, either a Part C called Medicare Advantage or a Part D. You get to change that plan. If
you're already on Medicare. Okay.
Correct.
So there's some alphabets involved. You have to be on Medicare, and that's where you come in.
Right.
Okay.
So A and B, that's federal government.
Yeah.
That's what you've been working for, been buying it for your whole life. That's federal government. Everything outside of A and B is the private insurance world. Medicare Advantage are private insurance companies. Medicare supplements are private insurance companies. And the Part Ds, which are the prescription plans, those are all administered by private insurance companies. And that's where I come in.
So when I come to see you at age 65, or having already been, whether I'm a new person, correct me if I'm wrong, or I'm an existing Medicare recipient.
Correct.
That there's a government part, which is, you just said,
A and B.
And B.
Yep. A covers inside the hospital care. It's kind of a broad statement. A in the hospital, B out of the hospital. They interlap a little bit, but that's the generalization. Part A is the benefits in the hospital, Part B outside.
And from C on, that's private insurance, and that's what I needed an agent to advise me on to decide which one of those makes the most sense for me.
Absolutely. Yes.
And how do I know which one, other than you telling me, which is what I would do, how would I know which one makes the most sense?
Well, I'm not allowed to tell you which one makes the most sense. All I should do as an independent agent is dig into your circumstances, because there are plans that don't have premiums, which are very attractive. Those are the Medicare Advantage plans.
Yeah.
So Part A, you don't pay anything for. Part B, you've got a premium. So you've got some skin in the game already.
Yeah.
So then when you go to the private insurance, you want to mitigate the risk of Medicare.
Okay.
So you can do that by buying additional coverage. That's called Medigap or Medicare Supplement.
Okay.
Or you can go to a no-dollar plan, a zero premium plan called Medicare Advantage. So there's pros and cons on both sides. There's no 3 questions I can ask somebody and say, okay, based upon those answers, this is what's for you, because value is completely subjective.
Okay.
Some people will pay for a Medicare Supplement Plan F and say, why would anybody not do this? Other people will do a Medicare Advantage plan and say, why would anybody pay for something that they don't need to? So Medicare Advantage, you don't pay a premium, but you're going to pay for care, and you're going to stay in network. A person who's on A and B who buys a Medicare supplement, they go to any Medicare provider in the country. They have no network limitations. They never have to ask, do you take my plan?
So it's more flexible.
Greater access to care in the Medicare supplement, but you're paying for the privilege.
Right.
So again, value is subjective. I've got millionaires, people with lots of money, lots of income in retirement that are doing Medicare Advantage because they see no value in paying them a premium. I got people on Social Security benefits only who are paying for an additional coverage on a Medigap because their access to care dictates that's a good play.
So it's really just your own priorities.
It's a personal decision, exactly.
Okay.
There's no cookie cutter, and husbands can do different than wives. Wives can do different than husbands. If the wife turns 65 first, typically the husband just says, give me what she got.
Mm-hmm.
If it's vice versa, the wife want to know what's going on.
Right, because you can't trust the husband. He has no idea what he's
Not
doing.
when it comes to an insurance and
Okay.
healthcare decision.
I think
he's never made one good healthcare decision.
It's safe to say that most husbands are idiots. Is that what the point we're trying to come to?
All the ones my wives are married to are.
Ben's like, no, that's not true. Now that I've insulted all the men out there. You were telling me a story about, or you were actually explaining to me, like I couldn't understand why somebody who was already on Medicare and had already picked plans would come back every year.
Right.
Because obviously they are, because you're seeing these 400 people, and why they would do that. And you were explaining to me, and I'm pretty thick, so it's taking a while for it to set in, but you were explaining to me that the pharmaceutical part of that, especially the prescription part, changes from year to year.
Every year.
And depending on what meds you're getting and what your conditions are, you might need to go from this one to that one because that one excluded this med and this one added that med. And wow, like how do we get there?
You've got it 100% correct. The Part Ds, which are the prescription plans.
I was 100% correct.
100% correct.
I have no idea what I just said.
They're on an annual contract.
Right.
So every January, the plan changes in some form or fashion. It can literally go away. Now, if it goes away, you typically don't wake up uninsured if you're not paying attention. The insurance company will do what they call map you to a plan of their choice.
Yeah.
So they'll move
that doesn't
you where
sound good.
No,
I don't feel like you want to be mapped.
No, don't be mapped.
Yeah, okay. Mapping's bad.
We want to be selective.
We want to be unmapped.
Unmapped.
Yes.
So you wake up mapped on a plan that doesn't fit you. Now you're paying
Right.
more than you should
Right.
for your plan, potentially more for your meds than you could be.
Right.
So every year, this time of year, we can review that Part D. Make sure that you're on the right plan. New plans can come in. So a plan that we sat with somebody in August to make a decision for, September, October, November, December, they might change for January the following year because there might be a plan that's not available now that's available in January.
That seems complex.
It is. Fortunately, Medicare's got a pretty legit website. We take your list of medications, we put it in their plan finder, and it will sort your list against the 27 plans that are available and just make a recommendation based upon cost for the total overall cost of plan versus meds.
It almost sounds to me like you're saying there's a government program that's complex and hard to understand, which I can't even begin to think is
Contrarian,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems like odd thinking on your part. I'm sure you have a misunderstanding of some sort.
I must be confused myself.
Yeah, clearly.
And the same with the Part C Medicare Advantage. That's an annual contract.
Yeah.
So you could have a max out of pocket this year of $2,250, and next year it could be $6,700. If you're not
that makes perfect sense.
If you're not paying attention, you wake up in January and you're locked in. You're not making a change. You're mapped. Yeah. You're there.
I think what we're learning is we don't want to be mapped.
Do not be mapped.
Yeah. How long does this sounds so complex to me. I can imagine sitting down with you in your office. How long can it take you to go through? I've hit upon a nerve here, I could tell.
Well, I've had people leave my office to go to the men's room and the ladies' room.
Yeah. Back to the urologist again, huh?
Once and twice during the same visit.
Yeah.
It can be an hour.
Yeah.
It can be 2.
Yeah.
If you got a husband and wife and they're both going different directions, it's 2 hours.
Wow.
You can have somebody come in the office who just needs a Part D review, and they sent me their meds in advance. I've already got them loaded.
You like those clients?
Yes. Send me what you need.
Yeah.
I'll load them in at midnight,
and
then you'll show up, and I'll say, here's your best option. The forms are filled out. You sign and dine.
I'd show up with nothing.
Nothing.
Because that's how I had like a shoebox full of stuff. Here.
And I literally have people bring a shoebox in with their medications. Just bring me the list. I don't need all your meds.
Yeah.
But they do. They bring in their meds. And then after you get everything figured out, they say, oh, did I tell you that I'm on tamsulosin? Say, nope. And then we review.
Tamsulosin.
We review our review.
I don't know what that does, but I feel like I need some.
You don't want it.
Okay.
But it's coming.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So then
urologist again?
Yes.
Okay.
So then you review your review because they forgot or
Right.
they didn't add it, or what if, you think you're all set and ready to go. So it can drag out, but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
My goal is you start January in the best possible place with the knowledge we have today.
Right.
Whether I can do it in 20 minutes or I'm taking an hour and a half and we're taking potty breaks, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm going to land you where you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's from this description, like many things, I think people think, well, I can do this myself, and that's not to say they can't. I'm sure you would say
they can't.
Probably. Oh, you are saying they can't. Okay, good. I was trying to be diplomatic. I like what you said better.
That's fine. Well, oftentimes during this period of year, I will say to somebody, no offense meant, but how did you get on this plan?
Yeah.
You're the only person I've seen on it.
Yeah.
Say, well, my uncle told me that this was a good plan. So, where's your uncle live? Well, Indiana.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this could be a good plan.
Most
in
Medicare
Indiana.
experts are uncles in Indiana, I find.
You're the only person in Orange County who's enrolled in this plan. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people in Orange County.
Yeah.
But no, you don't need to do it yourself.
She has to travel to Indiana to get her teeth cleaned. But, other than that, it's fine.
I mean, you speak in jest, but the truth is the network is of monumental importance.
Yeah, I would imagine.
If it's a $5 copay or a $10 copay, if I can't get to care, it's a moot point.
You know, and with health insurance, and again, I'm clearly no expert in health insurance, but one of the things we look for is, okay, is my doctor available in this network of whatever this web is I'm getting myself into?
Right.
Is that something somebody could do? They could say, look, this is my urologist, this is my dermatologist. Can they search by that criteria?
Every day.
Okay.
Every day, that's how we land on Advantage. That's the driving factor.
Yeah.
Is we stay with the tier 1 companies, and then we start, where are your doctors? If we can find a plan that all of your doctors are in network, wonderful. But some people won't even consider Advantage. Others won't even consider paying a premium.
Yeah.
So first I explained to them the difference between paying an additional premium to really have that access to care anywhere in the country, or not paying an additional premium and having some networks that you need to pay attention to, and then get their feeling there. Some people will say, well, paying $200 a month for a plan F or a plan G, not an option. Discussion over. Now we're looking at Advantage.
Right.
Other people are like, well, I'm currently paying $1,800 for my Florida Blue option plan. So that goes away next month. So I'm getting one heck of a raise. Why would I not want to spend $200 to get me in a great place? So it's just, again, value is subjective.
Do you find that when people, because I'm listening to the terms you're using and the jargon you're using, and I'm getting a little confused, to people, and I'm clearly way far away from 65, just to be clear. Way far away. No laughing, Ashley. But do people who are in that age group, they're pushing 64, 65, do you find that they're versed in these things, or are you starting from scratch every time?
It's amazing sometimes how far from scratch. I've met with people 64 3/4, soon to be 65, and they're like, I thought Medicare covered everything.
Yeah.
Why do I even need a secondary plan?
Right.
I'm like, so you've had no experience with your parents or siblings or neighbors or in-laws through Medicare? They're like, nope. I'm like, well, congratulations, first of all. Second of all, no, Medicare doesn't cover everything. Medicare covers part of what it covers.
Yeah.
You have to decide, do you want to eat the risk of the rest? Do you want to pay somebody else to cover it? Or do you want to go with Medicare Advantage where you just mitigate it?
Yeah.
But typically people come in with a general idea. I get people that'll spend months researching and come in and say, the more I dig into this, the more confused I am. I wish I didn't know anything and you could start from scratch.
Yeah.
Now I have people come in with a stack of stuff. I've been researching for months. I say, well, you see Men in Black? I wish I had that thing where I could just get it all out of you.
Erase the memory? Yeah. You won't have that with me because I'm not researching anything. I'm just tell me where to sign. But yeah, it is clearly very complex.
It is.
And like many things, people are resistant to help or expert help or what they perceive as help. They want to do it themselves. They feel like they're smart enough, and they probably are smart enough, but they don't have the experience that you have to be able to spit all this stuff out. And like the investment business, I think it's critical, and you and I work together on a lot of projects, so I know you well enough to know this, but one of the things that I think has helped me in my investment career is to make the jargon and the complex simple when explaining, because that's how my brain works somewhere up in there, or doesn't work, as it were. And I've noticed that about you too, is all this stuff is complex. Even to me it's complex, and I've heard you talk about it a bunch of times. But being the skill that you have, and that another advisor like you would have that's good at their job, I think, would be to make the complex simple and put people at ease. So I don't know that this discussion's going to get people a PhD in this stuff.
Right.
But maybe we've taken them from kindergarten to 3rd or 4th grade, and that'll make the conversation with you or whoever else they use a lot easier to have.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, I don't care who you use, but don't do it yourself. And at best, get yourself an independent agent so they're not trying to pound a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah.
You know, you want to have multiple options, and just understand some decisions can't be unwound, others can. Some decisions are going to be with you for the rest of your Medicare life. Others we can unwind.
Yeah.
So
it's important to know the difference.
It is.
Yeah, because some of that toothpaste ain't going back in the tube.
It beats waking up and finding out that a ship has sailed that you wanted to be on.
Yeah.